Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. Visit speciesnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is a special one. He is not only a bodybuilder, he's a movie star in Bollywood. He was the bodyguard for the Dalai Lama. And we have him here today, Lopsang Tsering. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. It's an honor to be on your amazing show.
Thank you. I like the fact that you're a bodybuilder. I love that you're a movie star, but you know what? The thing that kind of interested me the most about your resume is that you were the bodyguard for a while to the Dalai Lama. How the hell did that happen? How'd that come about?
It's just that I was lucky. I'm pretty well known in the Tibetan community, and we all look up to His Holiness the Dalai Lama as the God. So when the office asked me in India and in the United States to be there for His Holiness, that was a big honor. So I said, definitely, it was a big honor to me to be there for His Holiness.
Now, you bring up a good point. Now, the Dalai Lama, they consider to be a god. Now, how do you get chosen to be the Dalai Lama? Is there a process that you have to go through?
His Holiness is the reincarnation of the God of compassion, Avalashkar.
Right.
So he's this Dalai Lama is the 14th Dalai Lama. He's reincarnated, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. Mm-hmm. So he's reincarnated. It goes through a huge process. So he was reincarnated in Tibet long time back as the 14th Dalai Lama.
Now, how do they determine who the next Dalai Lama is? Is it like your next? Is it in the family? Does it run, or do people get selected?
No, it's a huge process, Dave. It's like very religious. Tibet is very obviously very, very spiritual, and it's going through huge monasteries, and it goes through. You have to select. It's not easy. There's a movie actually done by Martin Scorsese. I was supposed to be in it actually, but he did a movie called Kundun, the great Martin Scorsese. So in that, he tells a little bit about the process. But as a kid, he's reincarnated. He's chosen. It's a huge process.
Now, when you're the Dalai Lama's bodyguard, and obviously the Dalai Lama is a very important person in Tibetan culture, if someone were to come out of nowhere with a gun to shoot the Dalai Lama, would you actually throw your body in front of him and act like a shield to block the bullet?
See, His Holiness is the God of compassion. People love him. All over the world, he's the most popular person. But there are a lot of crazy people, Dave. There are a lot Chinese is kind of strange. He's like the God, but they call him devil. It's kind of LOL, funny. But there are a lot of crazy people there. Definitely, if anything, if it's not going to happen, but I will throw my life for His Holiness. That's not even a thought,
Right. What I want to bring out is a very important job, because you have to protect this guy's life.
Absolutely. It's an honor, and His Holiness is for us Tibetans everything.
Right.
He's everything. He's like, he's up there for us. He's like Trump, Obama, and Pope and Jesus Christ, everything mixed together.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's the pinnacle of pinnacles. Now let me ask you. You grew up in India, right outside of India. I think you were born. You told me, right? And you, when did you get interested in bodybuilding and building your physique? What age did that start?
Very young, Dave. I was before I was a martial artist. I was very good in martial art. I kind of went to black belt. Bruce, the Bruce Lee fever, right?
Sure.
So I was very much into martial arts and all that. And then I was very good in soccer. But then I saw Rocky 2 with Stallone.
Right.
Rocky 2.
Yeah.
The one, he's pretty huge. Rocky 2 I saw, and then I saw Steve Reeves. Steve Reeves had a certain. See, I won my show because there were a lot of guys bigger than me, but I was very symmetric. I was the most complete, symmetry and proportion. So I saw Steve Reeves as Hercules. So when I saw Steve Reeves in one of the photos in Nepal and India, I said, wow, that's a flick. And then I saw Rocky 2 with Stallone, which Stallone later on met, long time later I met him in LA. But this is like, I saw him in Rocky 2, it's like, that inspired me. So I had a guy who was a wrestler. He was like a guru in Nepal. He used to sell rice, and behind he made a homemade gym. So he liked me a lot, and he invited me backstage, and that's how I started. I got the bug.
Gotcha. So you started training and everything like that, and then at what
I
point?
started training.
Yeah, what point did you want to compete? At what point did you say, you know, I'm going to do a bodybuilding show?
Okay, all right, that's a strange story. I went to a show in Hunter College in New York a long time back. This is like 80s, early.
Now, how did you get to New York from Tibet and India? How did you wind up in New York?
I was invited by a UCLA a professor who saw me. He said, "You have a lot of potential, Lopsang." I was a very young kid. He said, "You have a lot," and he invited me to LA to study. Okay. And in LA, when I came to study in LA, then it's strange. I was working at KFC before, and then later I did a thing in a meeting to be a bodyguard for a rich screenwriter in LA, and I got that. It was strange. And then later, my uncle used to work for Columbia University in New York. So that's how I landed up in New York City. And my connection with bodybuilding is I went to see a small local bodybuilding show in Hunter College, and I saw all the big guys. I saw all those guys upstairs on stage. And behind me, one guy told me, jokingly or something, he said, "Oh, no Tibetan, I'm Tibetan, no Tibetan or Asian can look like that." So when he said that, he was saying joking or whatever. I was not angry. I got very inspired.
Right. What year was that, Lopsang, that you did?
This was in 1986. I think,
wow,
86.
That's a long time ago. Yeah, way back.
Oh, a long time back.
Lopsang, who's behind? Is Angelina Jolie behind you over there?
What?
Are you with? Is that Angelina Jolie behind you there? The actress?
No, that's not Angie. No,
I thought I saw her behind you there. I'm being distracted by her back there.
No, Dave. So anyway, Dave. So then what happened is that I started training hard. I met Leon. He's one of our very good friend of mine. He's a legend in the sport, Leon Brown. And I met him. And Leon,
you know Leon Brown? Oh my God, that's full connection. It's like 6 degrees of separation.
He's like the Kevin Bacon of bodybuilding.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So and then Kai was a kid that time. Kai was coming to Johnny Lance's gym.
Right, that's right.
He was a kid. He used to just follow us. He had
Kai Green. Yep.
But Leon was a big deal then. But Leon liked me a lot, just as being Tibetan and, the Dalai Lama. Leon is and Robbie is a good friend of mine, Black Prince. Robbie also liked me a lot. It's funny. So the story goes that I trained hard, quality, hard intensive. Leon, the legend Brown. And then I went back and I won that CUNY, Mr. Q. I won middleweight and over, and the head judge came back. He said, "You have potential." That got me the bug to compete.
Right.
And then a little later, Robbie came from Arnold Classic. This is in '88 to train for Night of Champ. He was looking okay himself, and I was getting ready for Empire State Champion. And Robbie stayed with me in my apartment in New York, and we trained at the World Gym, Tony's World Gym on Lafayette.
Robbie Robinson, huh?
Yeah. And then Robbie, we both trained hard.
What did Robbie Robinson eat back then? Give me a day of eating. Were you feeding him?
Dave, that's a good question because I'm a nutritionist, but I learned more from looking at Robbie eating. I learned more from Robbie than my degree.
Right.
So Robbie is very, very scientific. He's very meticulous scientist. He's a walking encyclopedia of nutrition.
Yeah.
So he nearly won Night of Champions. He won that year.
I remember that show.
And I won my CUNY that show. So it was amazing. That year it was '88. I remember.
Was Robbie giving you some posing tips?
Yeah, that time we did the posing, the whole 9 yards. We did.
Was he running you through the poses? Was he working with you on the posing for your posing?
Oh, Robbie is the kind of person like he lets me do my thing, but he says, "Just do it," and then just do it. We just train like animals, and then when I do the posing, he looks and then he says, "Good," You know what I mean? And then we go move forward. Yeah. It's just a blessing.
That's awesome. To get a blessing. So what made you decide to stop competing in bodybuilding? When did you stop?
No, I competed. You know what's funny is that after I won my shows in New York, I was the king of Nepal's son was my fan. So he wanted their country wants to get a gold medal, America gets a lot of gold medals, so it's taken for granted. But Nepal is a small country. They don't get gold medal. So I'm actually an American citizen, But the king of Nepal's son invited me to compete for them for gold medal for the SAF Games, South Asian Championship in math. So, but I told him I'm American citizen. So it's like Michael Phelps going to compete for them. He said, don't worry. And here, King's son and the chief, the health minister. So
That's
in
good
one day,
connection, yeah.
I got the passport. I went to Singapore, Nepal, and I competed for SAF games. That was my first international game. I
Wow.
won the gold and silver medal down there.
Wow.
It was and
Great.
I competed here as a warm-up. Dave, my theory is similar to what Milo said. I kind of do warm-up. So here I did like a Statman championship. If I came second, I mean I'm on a roll. You know what I mean? That
Right.
means I could do damage in other things. So here I did a warm-up show in New York, and then I went. And then strangely, sad thing, Dave, is that I realized in the New York Times that time there was a massacre of the king and his son. I was shocked. Their same son, my friend, they were killed before I went there.
Wow.
You understand? It's huge news. This is in 2001.
Right.
It's huge news. And I called the sports minister. I said, what the hell, man? Do you want me to come now? The king's son is dead. It's huge news. And he said, it's okay. You just come. And normally, Dave.
So the guy you were friends with got killed, is what you're saying?
Yes, but massacred. The king.
Wow. So there was like an upheaval in the government here.
It was huge news. The king, the whole family was killed. So normally, Dave, if you compete for a country, you have to first. It's like national. You have to go first. You have to win the country's thing,
title,
and then you present them. You understand?
Yes.
But for me, I didn't have to compete. I just was selected.
Right.
You understand? Just by my name, Dave. I just was selected. Other guys had to go through competing and winning. I just was selected.
Yeah.
You understand? So I went there, and then it was a big honor. It was 2000. That was my last year of competing. It was a big honor. And then after that, I got into the movies. I was invited. I had some good, big Bollywood movie star friends, like Sanjay Dutt, Salman Khan. They're huge there. So they invited me. They have a movie premiere. And as a matter of fact, Dave, when I was doing the championship, I was also studying. New York City has the best acting schools. I studied in NYU and Meisner Theater.
I didn't know that. So, it was funny because when you contacted me, I watched some of your clips. We could put them up, actually, your movie clips from your Bollywood movies, and you're a good actor. It was very believable because you sound like you're such a well-spoken, soft-spoken guy. And I'm looking at this clips of you fighting, and you look like the real deal. Like you could be a murderer or something like that. You're scary looking,
Yeah, I studied, Dave. I studied here. New York City has the best acting schools in the world. So I studied here. It was not only I have a good body. So when I went to Bombay, and I met this guy. He's a huge, iconic. He's like the Clint Eastwood of Bollywood, and he had fired one guy from the movie, and he saw me in the Bombay Times. It's like New York Times. They had done like Tibetan tank comes in town,
right?
And then the movie star guy told, they fire you, go there, this is a good role. So I went to the office, and the big man came down. I was a kid, I was a fan of it. And he came down, and then I said, sir, I'm Lopsang. He said, yeah, I know who you are, I read about you. So it's huge. So he said, I'll do a screen test. So I speak 5 languages. I speak Hindi very good,
Right.
So obviously I studied acting. So I did the screen test, and he loved it. And then I signed the contract. That's how it started.
You were great. You were very believable. I know the movie that I think I'm watching. First of all, they made a documentary on you called Mr. New York, and so we were looking at that,
Yeah.
some scenes from that.
Yes.
And in there, they showed that scene where you're fighting. Is that a remake of the movie The Rock with Nicolas Cage?
No. The Rock was Khayamat. It's a different movie.
Oh, okay.
That's a huge movie.
What movie is this we're watching?
That's called Janashin. That's also a big movie, and that is the movie with the guy I was talking about, the iconic, the Clint Eastwood of Bollywood. It's his movie.
Gotcha.
That movie is called Janashin. That's a big movie also.
You look great. I love watching looking at these old time pictures and everything like that. Do you miss being in the movies now? Because I know you turned down some movie parts because you got a family now. You're living in New York, and you really don't have the ability to go over there anymore.
Yeah, Dave, it's a little different. When I did the championship and the movies, I was a bachelor then. I was alone, so it's no big deal. I can do the thing. When you do, it's not like Hollywood. Bollywood movies, sometimes the big movies, if you are the main character and you are in the whole movie, you get stuck. That movie which you saw a clip, I got stuck for 2 years, believe it or not,
Wow.
in Bombay. I'm from here, US, believe it. So it's like crazy, you know what I mean? And there, the big movie star, the producer, Dali, he's big shot, so he can get me the visa. There, everything is the name. It's connections, you know. You can, but still, I'm stuck there. It's crazy. But now I have family. I have a kid, junior guy, and so it's very difficult. So I got offered of two very big movies as the main role, and I had to turn it down because one was when my kid was just born. So it was winter and they wanted me right away. And when I said no, they were shocked. But then they understood when I told them that my first kid was born.
Would you ever
So
go
now
back to the movies if you had another opportunity when your kids got a little older?
Now I'm talking right now to a big movie star guy. He for a big action movie we're talking. But to me, it's four things. You know, it's obviously the money, but it's more obviously my role. The role has to be like juicy or like something which I feel it's worthwhile. But the second thing it has to be is the schedule. The schedule is very important. If the schedule is not there, it's not good. The schedule, if it's too long, then I'm stuck. I cannot be away from my family.
Right. So what do you do for work now that you're not in the movies, though? What's your job?
I'm basically a fitness expert, or I'm a master trainer and nutritionist.
Gotcha. What gym?
I'm all over. I'm at Blink, you know. I'm at Blink, but I'm all over.
Gotcha.
I have people, I'm Dave. I'll be very honest to you. I'm very selective with my movies I do and with my clients. My clients are people who have passion in wanting to change their mind and body. I have one client of mine, Indian guy. He was just a regular guy. He 145 pounds. Now I made him to 210. He's looking amazing, regular guy, and he's now become a manager at Twitter. And now he was a brainy guy, but body he was just normal skinny guy.
Right.
I might put him on stage. Believe
That's
it or not.
awesome.
Now this guy, regular guy, and I brought him from 145 to 210 muscles.
Wow.
So it's not only me, my expertise. It's his. It takes two hands to clap.
Right.
So that's why I'm very selective with my clients who really want to change and absorb knowledge and grow. Because when I go for my big, like I went recently for my big special talk series in India and all, I tell the youth, knowledge is power, but also you have to absorb, and then you have to really strive, work hard, blood and sweat.
Absolutely, I believe in that as well. Would you ever consider a comeback to the stage, competing again?
And that's funny, actually. This client who I'm talking about, one of my clients who I bought from 145 to 210, I might get him on stage, and the master might get on stage with him.
Oh, really? So, and how old are you now, Lopsang?
And this time I don't care of this. And before, when I competed, I knew I want to win or come in top two. Dave, I'm up there. I'm up there. I'm pretty, nobody knows my age.
Right. How old are you?
I'm old, man.
Maybe you're immortal, like the Dalai Lama.
I look good, right, Dave?
Mr. New York.
Yeah.
Are you in your 50s?
One of my friends tattooed, my fans in India tattooed this.
I see it. I like it. Who's in the back there? Where are you? Are you at some kind of store or something like that?
I'm at my friend's store. This is my kid.
Oh.
Junior.
Yeah, he said hello.
I have a full thing just to. I'm honored, Dave. You guys, I must say, I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. Well, yeah, you're a big. You got a great story. Hey, how's it going?
My son, So I have a full life. You have a family.
Right. So now, when the Dalai Lama comes to New York, do you get a phone call to watch to bodyguard him still?
I am actually, Dave. I am invited by our president,
Trump.
Dr. Lopsang Tsering. I'm invited, and the health minister. I did a big thing last few years back, and it was a super hit. Special talk, health awareness.
Yeah.
Not to the mainstream people, not to gyms or bodybuilding world. I'm talking about schools and universities. I want them to get involved, and also athletes. Soccer, like that kind of athlete. So tell them the benefits of training, like the power training, nutrition.
Yeah.
All that, because when you used to train back in the 70s in school, and now it's a whole different. Now there's like CrossFit, there's power stamina. People come to me for power stamina.
Yeah.
Now it's different. So now I'm going back again. I'm specially invited back again to give special talk to the youth. And also it's funny is that when I give to the youth, older people came, and I then one of the news people said, what happened? I said, I'm aiming to youth. But as I said, your body is your temple.
Absolutely.
You need to keep it clean. So the Lopsang quality expertise is not only for the youth, it's for all.
Well, Lopsang, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. You had a very, very interesting life between the movies you've done, the bodybuilding, the guarding, the Dalai Lama.
Dave, something about the meiosis thing, about the insulin thing.
You told me you said you agree with the insulin with Milos on the insulin protocol.
I agree with Milos. Number one thing, Milos has been around. Believe me, I respect him. He's been a top athlete. His physique similar to my symmetric proportion. But what he says, I've tried insulin, human now. Insulin, if it's done, it's good. It's dangerous, but it's good. It really creates, it's huge. You don't need juice and it's good. I 100%, 110% agree with Milos what he's saying about insulin.
All right.
Well, I really do.
And Milos will be happy to hear that you're in agreement with him on the insulin. Do you do insulin? Do you use insulin?
Yep.
You do.
Yeah.
Do you use it like Milos does, or do you use it like differently?
Not as not as scientific as Milos.
Yeah.
But mine is more like the intelligent mind insulin. It says I do human hour. I don't overdo. See, you got to understand, Dave. Key to success in life is balance. Every balance in training. When I say train, proper technique, intense, and then nutrition, supplement, and whatever you use, you have to be balanced. So my Milos is amazing. He does the scientific thing, but I'm not as scientific as Milos. But I do it more like intelligent mind insulin. Like I just would do when I do. I call it three things: pump, kill, drill. Drill is legs. Pump is chest, tricep. Kill is shoulders, back, biceps, the big ones. So when I do those two, that time I hit human arm. That's it.
Gotcha.
Eat a lot of potassium and carbs, like bananas and the food for natural athlete. Food is your drug.
Right.
Food you have to eat a lot. Good food. And I'm not talking about junk food. Good food you gotta eat. So insulin I just do like twice. That's it.
Gotcha.
I hit it when I don't play with it too much. Just twice, and it's huge. It's a huge impact.
All right.
But other than that, I'm natural. I train hard.
So you don't use any other drugs. That's your only drug.
No.
Okay.
No. Just insulin. That's it.
All right.
Nothing else.
Well,
I don't use anything.
You look great for whatever you are. You might be 90, 100 years old. We don't know, but that's a mystery that we'll have to try to solve somewhere down the road. If you decide to hop on stage again, you got to let us know so we can follow that road to the bodybuilding stage again.
Dave, I will be back on stage, and you'll be the first one to know.
We need to see if you're going to be Mr. New York again. You got to defend your title, right? I won that. I won the shows. Now I'm not, but if I win, it's amazing. Now it would be just to see how I am, because I haven't competed since 2001, 2002. Right.
You know what I mean? It's a long time.
It's never too late. 19 years.
Yeah. So I would say if I come back, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited now. I feel really good at this moment. So let's see. I feel good now. So Dave. You will be first one to know.
All right. You look great. Thank you for the interview, and good luck in the future. And like I said, keep us updated if you're going to get on stage. And if the Dalai Lama comes to town, let us know.
Yes, sir.
All right, my friend.
Thank you.
Lopsang Tsering. That is our guest for today, and I want to thank him for coming on the show and sharing his life with us. For now, we're out of time. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.